Our greatest battles are the ones that take place within ourselves. Batman, in essence, is a character that tries to achieve the impossible every God-given night, plunging into the abyss that is Gotham City, hell incarnate. Batman tries with all his physical and mental fortitude to see past himself and to look onto the people of Gotham as though everyone has a chance to be better. Even psychotic maniacs that ruin people's lives just for the sake of a few laughs, or for a coin toss, or even a riddle. For Batman, if there's even an inkling of hope that someone can change for the better, just a small chance for redemption, he'll take that chance every time. Because if Batman can save at least one person from the abyss, to him I believe that's like stopping the bullets that took everything from him in just one moment. But that moment is finite, and Batman, after all, is human at the end of the day. Some days he's an omniscient being or a god, granted, but human nevertheless. And every human being, like ourselves, falls victim to depression or the feeling of being stuck, or that their actions don't have an effect at the end of the day. Now, Batman as an idea, as a symbol, can be everlasting and incorruptible. But Bruce Wayne, a man of flesh and blood, has to go home every night after experiencing the darkest pits of humanity, and every time bring himself out from that pit and rise up to become Batman again and again, living the never-ending sacrifice that is Batman. Now, in one story called Batman Ego, written and illustrated by Darwin Cook, displays Batman 3 years into his career, feeling more than ever like he simply can't be Batman anymore because things have drastically changed. Before, it was corrupt officials, gangsters, and dirty cops, but through the Batman's crusade, it presented an unspoken challenge to others. Next thing, Gotham's status quo of crime would be changed to killer clowns, maniacal villains, and what was up would be turned upside down. And after one particular night after stopping the Joker from one of his pesky plots, Batman ended up tracking down one of Joker's goons named Buster, who Batman had interrogated the night before, which led Batman to stop the Joker. Now, Joker caught wind of this and ended up telling Buster that once he'd get out of Arkham, he'd pay his family a visit. So while Batman would prevent Buster from attempting to jump off a bridge, Buster would explain that his life is over because of Batman and his childish crusade. Batman asks what Buster means, and Buster retorts that because of Batman's game of cops and robbers with the Joker, to save his family from being killed by the Joker, because let's face it, the cells are made of Play-Doh, Buster killed his own family first so they wouldn't suffer from the hands of the Joker. Batman becomes distraught that Buster resulted to such an extreme, and before anything, Buster blickies himself after saying he'll see Batman in hell, leaving Batman asking himself who the real villain is after tonight. Now, I forgot to mention, but Batman during this whole story has lost 2 pints of blood, so he becomes incredibly delusional. Driving back to the cave, he sees flashes of several traumas, but most notably Buster blaming Batman for everything. Upon entering the cave, Bruce talks aloud to his dead parents about how so many things have changed, and the looming feeling of quitting Batman draws nearer and nearer. Where before entering the cave, talking with his parents gave Bruce the motivation to be Batman, now serves as a constant reminder of how much Bruce despises Batman. And suffering from the pain of being Batman night after night, Bruce says to himself that he can no longer be Batman, until a demonic voice shouts from the crevices of Bruce's mind that Bruce is a fool, a coward even, and Bruce doesn't know what true pain really is. Appearing to Bruce like the ghost of Christmas future, this bat demon who represents the Batman persona becomes furious that Bruce has lost his faith. Bruce tries to get away from this demonic creature and even says that this isn't real, he's just seeing things due to the blood loss. But just behind Bruce, the demon bat emerges from a cloud of green smog. Bruce says that none of this can be real, but the demon bat thinks otherwise, shouting to Bruce that he will not be dismissed, as he's not just some costume or a persona, but the very heart of Bruce lay dormant within him ever since Bruce was a child. Recalling a Christmas long ago when Bruce's parents were still alive and everything was at peace. Everything was as it should have been. Parents alive, Christmas presents, tears of joy, and Christmas dinner. Although it'd be interrupted by an emergency call for Dr. Thomas Wayne that a patient needed help or they wouldn't make it through the night. Bruce, curious, he'd tag along. Being told to wait in the car, Bruce and the feeling of boredom became endless. Exiting the car, Bruce enters the home of his father's patient to find his father trying everything he can to save the man. But despite his father's efforts, the man eventually passed. Afterwards, during the ride back home to the manor, Bruce would ask his father if him and his mother were going to die. His father would stop the car and then promise Bruce that they both won't die for a long, long time. But in Bruce's mind, it was almost as if something ticked, because after being tucked in by his mother, Bruce felt a presence of some kind within the shadows of his room, faceless, nameless, but it would feel Bruce, and Bruce could feel it. And only a short time later, this entity exploded in Bruce's heart, after Bruce's parents were gunned down in front of him. From then on, they became companions, and the demon bat drove Bruce to create a reason for vengeance, silently urging him forward. This demon bat was inescapable in Bruce's mind, so much so that when Bruce was ready, he subconsciously forged the identity of Batman through the vision of the Demon Bat, recalling that when Bruce was just beginning to be Batman, the Demon Bat took all of Bruce's anger, rage, and pain, all bottled up, and shared it with those who were deserving, and for a time, it was perfect. But when crime started to sink, it only nurtured more extreme criminals, sadistic madmen, flamboyant opportunists, obsessive murderous psychotics, rising to the unspoken challenge of Batman. But out of all of them, there is one whose name, ever be uttered, sends an entire city in the state of unbridled terror. A man who's killed more than all the other criminals combined, just for amusement. The Bat Demon then tells Bruce there's only one solution to cull that insanity, and it's to kill the Joker. But Batman won't allow it, for he won't have blood on his hands, and they are not killers. The Demon Bat, in a fit of rage, yells to Bruce that he will show him blood. He will show him death, as skulls rain down upon Bruce, weighing Bruce down with the victims of the Joker that Bruce is just as much responsible for because of his refusal to kill the Joker to preserve his morality. With the Demon Bat going on to say in his final analysis, after the night at Ace Chemicals when he failed to save the Red Hood from falling into the vat, Batman had unleashed upon Gotham something far more savage than he ever could imagine. And now, ever since then, it's been nothing but insanity for countless nights. The Joker breaks out, kills numerous people, and Batman puts him away again and again and again. But one day, that cycle will eventually end, with either one of them murdering the other. The Batman then asks Bruce if he has anything to say for himself, to which Bruce would say back that everybody lives in harm's way. It's not his fault the Joker is who he is. The Joker chose for his life to be that way himself. He chose madness. And while continuing, he begins to laugh at the Bat Demon, because this, to Bruce, is just crazy. He's talking to Batman, asking if this is all the work from eating an underdone potato. Laughing more. The Bat Demon throws Bruce across the room, yelling that Bruce swore to his parents and to the Bat Demon subconsciously that he would dedicate his entire life to the crusade. Bruce turns back and says that he's had enough of this madness, so the Bat Demon begins to show Bruce true madness, consuming Bruce in a ball of fire, shouting that if Bruce were to ever denounce himself from being Batman and send the Bat Demon back into his subconscious, he'd torment Bruce until the day he'd die. Realizing this, Bruce then accepts what the Bat Demon has been telling him and that his actions have had repercussions. But tonight on the bridge, he came face to face with that damage and doesn't know how to live with it anymore, asking the Bat Demon how he can even carry on. The Bat Demon then brings up Bruce's best friend Harvey Dent, now better known as Two-Face, mentioning that after his accident, his body became a host body, fit with two minds, that of Harvey and the other Two-Face. Through this, they were able to coexist given the flip of a coin, and through voluntarily splitting their collective minds, Bruce could do whatever he'd like, while the Bat Demon could take the wheel when Batman is needed, and left free to deal with the devil in kind. Bruce thinks that the idea of splitting both of their minds is completely and utterly insane, but the Demon Bat thinks of this as freedom to achieve both of their individual destinies. But Bruce, realizing that with his training he was able to temper the wrath of the Demon Bat, if it was left unchecked, the Demon Bat's vengeance would be monstrous. So to the Demon Bat's proposal, Bruce swiftly declines, splitting his mind in two. And so the Demon Bat says that if Bruce really wishes to be rid of him and to lead a normal life, Bruce needs to kill the Demon Bat, teleporting the gun that killed Bruce's parents into his hands to kill the part of his subconscious that is the Bat, telling Bruce to think of it as a new life, free from fear and free from the weight of responsibility. And all it'd take is one bullet. So Bruce slowly points the gun at the Bat, and for only a moment he thinks about pulling the trigger, until realizing that he can't, unloading the gun, claiming that if he were to kill the Bat, it'd be like committing suicide, like Buster on the bridge. Angered, Bruce throws the gun aside and yells aloud, is this his life now? Is this what he has to look forward to? To which the Bat says to Bruce that it is indeed. It is their destiny. They lost their normal life a long time ago, and they can't change the past. But what they can do is protect others and allow for them the chance of happiness they'll both never get to have. And they both must accept that truth. Bruce then says that the truth hurts, but the Bat says back that a wise man once said that the truth will set you free. So they both then stand for a final moment and an understanding. Bruce then says that there is a line that they may never cross. No killing, for that is the only thing that sets them apart from the criminals. And as much as Batman is a terrifying symbol to the underworld, Batman is also a symbol to the good people of Gotham, a symbol of hope. And if the Bat can live with that, then Bruce Wayne can live with the responsibility. And so, the Bat agrees to Bruce's terms, finally vanishing in a gust of green smoke. And out from the smoke, a photograph floats down into Bruce's hand. Later, the Joker somehow managed to escape the asylum yet again, and police have him surrounded waiting on the Batman to show. Until over the police radio, Batman tells Gordon he'll be on his way and that something happened, but he managed to come out of it in one piece. While driving towards danger, Batman looks at an old photograph of him and his parents, at peace with the never-ending sacrifice of being Batman so others can have the happiness he could never have. And that Batman has had an effect on Gotham City in a way he never realized until now, ending the story. Reading the story, I couldn't help but relate to it myself in a couple ways. I've been making videos for the better part of almost 3 years, and sometimes along the way, I lose my spark and feel like I don't do enough. Like, I could be doing more than I actually am, and finally get so swept up in a laundry list of ideas, I end up burning myself out. And sometimes ask if I really want to keep being Mullet-Man and just quit. But then I think about the people who comment on my videos that they look forward to watching them on a work break, or that someone smiled watching a video of mine after a really shitty day, or maybe someone will feel inspired to get into comics and do their own videos because of me. And that gives me an unending joy to know that I've had an effect on others I never thought I could ever have. And because of this, it motivates me to always create video after video for you all, because each and every one of you have had an effect on me. And that effect to me is infinite. You have all changed my life in an astronomical way that I could have never thought would ever happen. It was always my dream to be a YouTuber and to make videos for an audience that loved me for who I was. And because of you guys, you have all made that possible. So thank you. And with that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And as always, I'll catch y'all on the flip side.